Have you ever wondered how to connect a Givenergy All In One to another Givenergy All In One? No? Well, I'm going to show you anyway. Let's go. So this is a site we worked on a few months back. We did the solar on the roof, we did an all-in-one in the house, and today we're adding another one. Let's speed things up a little bit. I'll get set up and then I'll talk you through what we've got. Let's go. Table's out, tools are out, location sorted. I'm going to talk you through what we've already got on site, how we've come to this, what the D&O was like, and then we're going to get into the install. We've got an array here and an array on the other side. These are using the Longi 430 watt panels. The solar skirt on both sides. This is south facing, so we've got a west facing array as well. Panels are on there. They're actually solar edge optimized. PV Ultra coming down into the property. That's not one of ours, but we'll take a look at that later. And let me show you what's inside. We've got a 6 kilowatt solar edge inverter, a Givenergy gateway, and then the original Givenergy All In One, which again we installed in summer. So this has got a 6 kilowatt built-in inverter for the battery, along with the 6 kilowatt solar edge inverter over there. So combined, there's a output of 12 kilowatts. And today we're adding a second one. Ideally, we thought we'd have some space here, but we don't. So this one's going to go outside with a little canopy over the top. Not ideal, but does the job. You know, customers happy with that. If you're aware of Givenergy, you probably understand that installing it's the easy bit. Commissioning it, that's another kettle of fish. I think I'd rather pull my teeth out than update this firmware, but let's get these brackets mounted. So I was blessed with the ability to retain a lot of information, which serves me well. But I was also cursed with not being able to measure correctly, not being able to cut straight, and not being able to gauge whether something's level. So now I've measured the brackets distance apart and I've levelled them up. Let's see if the battery will fit. And if we edit that, it'll look like it just went on in the first go. Measurements were right though. Perfect. Now to just level off the feet, take the cover off, get the cells in, and then we can start cabling it up. Whew, cup of tea I think. So Matt's off work this week on paternity leave. Battery's in the location, so we need to get power cable back to the gateway and a data between the two all-in-ones. I think then I'm going to have to speak to Givenergy about the software, because there is a parallel software we need to update. When we originally installed the first one, install went fantastic. Updating it took 8 hours. That's the thing I'm not looking forward to today. So when we installed this originally, obviously we did get G99 permission for the 12 kilowatt that we installed, 6 kilowatt solar edge and the 6 kilowatt Givenergy. Since then though, the customer has had a heat pump installed by Octopus, which is why you can see an outdoor fuse box. Another story. Done the maths and worked out, you know what, if we got another all-in-one, it'd help pay towards running the heat pump. We've had to reapply for the G99 again, and surprisingly they were actually quite generous. They turned down the initial design, which was the 6 kilowatt solar edge, 2 of these. They said no, that exceeds their sort of capacity. But if we swapped the inverter to a 5 kilowatt solar edge inverter, that'd allow us to have the two 6 kilowatt, which is fantastic. There's already an export limitation set up on the site, but that meant swapping the inverter. So after a little bit of a conversation with the DNO, they've allowed us to downsize the output of the inverter to a 5 kilowatt. So what we'll be doing is we'll be setting a limit on that inverter. So essentially it's a 5 kilowatt inverter. All of the SolarEdge HD waves, they're pretty much the same inverter anyway, whether you go for 3.6 up to a 6 kilowatt, fundamentally they are the same. So they've allowed us to downsize that to 15, meaning that the on-site capacity is 17 kilowatts, which is one of the biggest I've known in DNO, and especially from SP Energy, they're normally tight as something anyway. Let's get the battery cells in. I love how robust this all-in-one is. I think the software could be improved, but build quality, I actually really enjoy it. I also like this sort of setup you have with an inverter, battery off-grid. Tesla Powerwall 3, again, fantastic solution. I believe the newer all-in-ones which are coming out soon, they're going to have the same sort of ability to put solar directly into it, which just provides a fantastic solution for the homeowner. You get a lot for your money, you get whole home backup, huge storage capacity at 13.5 kilowatt. Yeah, I really like it. That's the cells in, as easy as that. Next is how we get the power around to it. We made a hole when we pulled the cables through from this meter cupboard to the gateway originally. We could do it in twin and earth and then put some conduit out here, and the twin and earth would get through there nicely. Don't think we'll get the EV Ultra through, which is what we were planning on using, but I'll take a look at that in a minute. That obviously would be ideal because that obviously has the 6mm and it also has the data connection as well, so which means one cable, nice and neat. We can only work with what we got, so, and I don't fancy trying to drill another hole so close to all those tails. So yeah, this is the meter cupboard. There's our tails in and out, which feed the gateway. Obviously, like I say, Octopus have been and done this since. Not the biggest of fan, but hey ho, not our problem. Yeah, so I'm going to work out whether we go somewhere in where the DC is and down, or we go through the hole there and out the bottom of the meter box. Let's go and get the cover off inside on the trunking and we'll see what happens. That's where our tails come through, and that's where our DC comes through and then separates there into sort of double insulated there. Can we rod through there and get a 6mm on a data? Might be the easiest point. So fingers crossed, I should be able to pull this all the way in. Pass through. Whew. Okay, so let's figure out how we're going to get it to each of the devices. That's plenty. That's plenty. Let's get this out of the way. Okay, so I've found my route. I'm going to come out the meter box, go along the bottom in a little bit of Flexi Copex, just because there's some things to sort of get over and get around. All the cables are first fixed in. I'm going to make up the data cables now, try and update the firmware, and then connect it all together. Firmware is going to be the trickier bit, I think. So I'm just making off the data between the two. So we've got a gateway in and a gateway out, and an all-in-one in, and all-in-one out. The all-in-one. Just put a label on them so we don't get confused. And if anyone ever needs to get to it in the future, you know exactly what does what. Tidy. There's the data's made off. So we've got gateway out. Obviously we've already got a gateway in, done. An all-in-one out, and on the other side will be all-in-one in. Obviously the unwritten rule with data is if you don't test it, it won't work the first time. So there's all the pairs working. I've tested the gateway. Okay, so power's off now. And obviously we made sure the backup's not come on. Now I've got to put the tails into the main buzz bar, and then I'm going to get on with the firmware. So there's 2 buzz bars inside of here. Okay, neutral done. Live one to do now. And then I can get power back on. You know, even when you've switched it off and you've tested it, always feels a little bit daunting, I think. Perfect. Okay. On hold to Givenergy. I have updated this remotely, but it doesn't seem to be working. We've been stuck on 88% for a little while now, so we'll go through to technical and see if they can help. Absolute pain in the backside, but let's give it another go, see what we can do. Change that down to USB. We should lose power in a minute and it should start to do something. Should. Oh, it's just not having it. If anyone has worked with Givenergy, you know my pain right now. So, quick update. Managed to get through to Givenergy. Gateway had updated. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Just got the 2 batteries to update now. Label, clean up, and that should be it done. Okay, that took a little bit longer than we should have. Feels like it's another day, but it's not, same day. They've updated, so all we've got to do now is configure the inverters. So fingers crossed this only takes a couple of minutes. That's already been dropped down to 5 kilowatt and sorted out. So that's that done. We've done backup island, so we know that works. I say I've done that. Commissioning to the gateway now. Canopies outside. Customer supplied that, so I'll put that up for them. It feels like the installation of these things, you know, straightforward. The software, absolute pain in the backside, but we're nearly there. It gets done in the end. Let's have a look. Still going. Honestly, sometimes. So now it's saying there's something wrong with the commission. It's always handy to have a laptop and a mobile device. Something's starting back up. Waiting for the inverter to restart as the grid code was changed. We're getting there. We're getting there. Wetter than an ox pocket. And I've only been running things to the van. Givenergy All In One there, one link to the other outside there. Both going to provide backup power in the event of a power outage. 13.5 kilowatt here, 13.5 kilowatt storage there. 6 kilowatt inverter in that, 6 in that. That solar wedge is limited down to 5. 17 kilowatt on-site capacity. But yeah, I'm done. Home time. Right, so to summarise then, in terms of physical installation, it's actually not too difficult. You know, you've got your 6mm supply out to the all-in-one, powered off double pole RCD inside the gateway. That's taken off of the buzz bar. Communication wise, we've got gateway in, all-in-one in, and that comes from the first all-in-one, the primary all-in-one, out to the secondaries and so on and so on. So in terms of installing it, very straightforward, quite happy with how fast, how efficient it is. Commissioning is the nightmare. Although I did update them locally, I still required a little bit of input from Givenergy. But anyway, they got commissioned, firmware got updated. That's all showing on the customer's app now. They'll just have to go back in and set the settings on things like the reserve level on the battery, the time charge. But in terms of installation, you know, was it now 4:30? So a good day's graft. Until next time,